This is the S&P 500 one-day reading for May 9th, 2023. It's currently April 8th, 2023, 11:40 p.m. Eastern Time. And the shuffle file we're about to play was created on February 26th, 2023 at 5:38 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this file right here. The overall theme and behavior for the day, we have an important price level on a scale of at least a 1 month scale, maybe more. The science card always speaks of like a price level that's important on like a greater scale than the scale of the reading. So in the case of a 1 day reading, it really could be like the scale of a 1 month or bigger. It's an important price level that's highlighted. Looks like we have it highlighted twice throughout the day, at least twice throughout the day. Behavior around the highest high. There's an intentional fake out, shake out of some sort here around the high. Something that happens to falsely trigger an indicator with the intent to create impulsive decisions. And then behavior into the low. There's going to be a significant drop on a 1 day scale into the low. It'll stand out. The high and the low are also within close proximity to each other. So there's two things that happen when the high and the low correlate to each other. There's two things that I've seen. One, we have you go straight like from a high to a low. It might take several days or several hours or whatever the scale is, but you go basically straight from a high to a low without any kind of like really much back and forth going on. Maybe a little, but the other one is that they're within close time proximity to each other. So on the scale of a 1 day chart, that would be within like the same hour or two. And then I'm advised to trade around out of a decline. There's a move higher even in the face of seemingly overwhelming headwinds. So we likely open higher. There's a breakout on a 1 day scale in the pre-market and a rally along the diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance to meet a second resistance before pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels out of the open. Diagonal rally out of the open, and that rally offers an opportunity to open up a trade position, open up a short position, namely. And then we have a significant drop. It looks like there's a prominent trough that forms here after this rally out of the open, prominent trough that forms roughly between 10 and 11. There's an opportunity so there's an opportunity there to open up a short position. You could probably close it for a quick day trade here. I'd say we probably go lower. We might have a high and a low here midday as well, but we probably go lower than this trough at some point. Like we have a trough here, 10 to 11, and then we have a failed attempt to break through resistance, key resistance on a 1 day scale, followed by a decline through key support on a 1 day scale. There's a speech that comes out around noontime, should not be trusted. It's deceitful. And there's a big move to the downside off of that failed attempt to break through resistance. That crest or failed attempt to break through resistance takes us into a trough. A trough around 12:15, 12:20. And then there's a big move to the upside, followed by that creates another crest that we sell off from. A big move to the upside, probably around 1 o'clock. There's a trade opportunity in there as well. So in the midst of the decline here, you could probably open up a long position. So let it decline, and then this trough, you could probably open up a long position there and close the long position here around 2 o'clock, 1:20-ish. There's a sideways S formation that forms within a channel there. A decline, reversal all the way back to resistance, a reversal all the way back to support, creating like a sideways S. between roughly 1 and 2, and then a failed attempt to break through key resistance that it looks like technically we're going to break through, but instead we decline through key support. It's probably the same resistance that we failed to break through earlier in the day around like 11 to 12. And then there's a lot of ground covered price change wise in the last hour. It looks like we probably go from a trough, like we decline off of this failed attempt to break through key resistance, into a prominent low for the day. It might not be the lowest low, but it'll be a prominent low there. Probably a lowest low, and there's also probability of a highest high, but it'll be a prominent low and a prominent high. We go from a low, it looks like the closer we get to the close, the more likely we are to be pushing to the upside, a fast, sudden move to the upside, to reach for that price level that's significant. On a multi-day scale, on like at least a 1 month scale, and it looks like we break through it momentarily, creating a new high, probably a highest high, followed by a breakdown through that same price level shortly thereafter, creating like a capital A in the English language if that price level was the horizontal line that went through the triangle. The sneak preview for the following day looks like we open lower. And there may be multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance around the open. We'll get into that momentarily. My friends, that's the S&P 500 for May 9th, 2023. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, my friends, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You do so here at the Resources tab. 5% back to Cash App or PayPal, 5% forward to one of these charities. And make sure you spend that money out of love, my friends. Spend that money out of love, and the universe will send it back to you tenfold from all directions. Later.